And the layman on the ground sometimes don't understand what is really going on in audit. All he's seen is numbers. And you have to explain what those numbers mean and what it means in relation to the financial position or how well the organization is doing or how bad it's doing. Because sometimes we see profit and we feel, oh, we have profit, let's share some money. But we have to remember that surplus we make, we have to hold back some in case of hard time, in case because you have to buy materials, you might have to hold back in case one month you get your monies from your contract late, you need to pay your workers. So all these things the
in terms of organizational responsibilities,
the board needs to understand. Because we had a situation where one of the organization, Cooperative, saw X amount of money and they shared, and when the next year or they just make a decision and increase salaries and not talking to the auditor, at the end of the year they went to the deficit
and then run into problems.
Right.
All right. Now, how can the members of the cooperative be suspended?
Okay, so yes, members of our cooperative can be suspended, again for misconduct and so on. But suspension cannot exceed 3 months.
Okay.
You can suspend a member indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
You can suspend someone indefinitely.
Indefinitely, no.
The act
for whatever reason?
The act tells you that.
Yes, a maximum of 3 months.
The act tells you that. The act tells you subject to the bylaw. The board may, by notice to in writing, suspend a member for a period not exceeding 3 months if they are satisfied that the member is guilty of misconduct.
All right. Before you go on, just to go back to the previous question, right? If I may add, persons can also appeal to the registrar of cooperatives.
Yes.
If they are terminated, right? And but the final say again still lies with the membership.
All right. But that's where my next question comes in terms of their process for the appeal or the appeal process.
Well, yes, there's a process. I think the regulation spells out the process. If I can just quickly look at this here. All right, it says a person appealing the termination of his membership shall state in his or her written statement the reason for the termination of the membership in that person's personal knowledge, the grounds on which the appeal lies, any relevant facts or information in addition to those described by the note they would have gotten from the board of directors or the members.
Okay.
Right? And they must put that in writing and send it in to the registrar.
All right.
Yes.
And then I guess the registrar will come up with a decision in the process of the appeal.
Yes. The registrar could set aside the termination, right, for next general meeting, after investigating, of course. But again, the final decision lies with the membership. Right. And also, where a person appeals a termination, they remain a member of the cooperative until the final decision at the member is made.
All right. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Yes. And now here's that's where my next question comes in now. Is it possible for readmitting, after being terminated?
Yes, a person who has been terminated could be readmitted. As the act tells you, a person whose membership is terminated under the sections in Act, which is 31 or 32, may be readmitted by membership only by a 2/3 majority vote of members present and 14 at a general meeting. Right. So that means you must have your 2/3 majority count. So if you have 30 persons present at the meeting, 2/3 of that must vote in favor of readmittance, and it must be at a general meeting.
All right. So what if you don't get that 2/3 majority, and what really happens to that individual?
Well, the person cannot be readmitted because remember, you have to go by what the Act says. The Act is like the laws that the Act not is like the law.
It is the law.
The law that governs security and movement, and we can't go because contrary to the Act. If we go contrary to the Act, we'll be in violation. Then the registrar could now pull us up for being in violation of the Act.
Interesting there. And in this morning's program, we also have the option of a giveaway, which we will get to that shortly. I'm seeing we do have a caller. Maybe the caller do have a question he may like to ask. Let's go over to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, I just wanted to endorse what been said so far in terms of especially when the woman, the female speaker said that people know that they're supposed to pay attention to the financial and so on, but they don't for whatever reason. But I think it's partly because of lack of confidence, for one, and then people are afraid that they might not sound good in a crowd. And that goes back in the classroom from long ago where a child answers a question or try to ask a question and he's laughed at or she's laughed at. So I think maybe what the cooperative movement can do is encourage more sessions like that for people to ask good questions, appropriate questions, so that they're going to give more confidence. And then the issue of governance within the cooperative. I want to ask the question, in the school saving union scheme, does there have any meeting of the young people who are in the saving? Do they have any annual dinner meeting in the saving union? And if that cannot be practiced begin the practice and start from there, so that people understand the issue of governance and also accountability and all these kind of stuff. I think sometimes we expecting from people long after they should have got it when they didn't get it. So there are a lot of things that we missed about, like whether it's proper understanding maths, even language and so on, and then we expect people to be perfect today. I'm not saying that the speakers are saying that, but in terms of the general society. So the exercise that you folks are having are very useful. I'm just wondering how many people are listening at this time, because it's helpful whether you were in a bank or in a credit union or any. This is important to understand financial information, and most of us shy away from it because of our experience with maths and then the lack of confidence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution. Anybody want to respond to the caller in terms of what he said?
In what he said in terms of the savings union. So far, what I know about the savings union, basically savings union, what they're trying to teach it, what they teach the children basically is thrift, how to save. I don't think in the savings union there are any little boards and so. But what we are trying to endeavor to do, have been trying to endeavor to do in the past, is actually go to the schools and start to speak to them about cooperatives and let them understand what cooperatives, and you ask questions, because children do know because their parents may be in a credit union, so they have an idea. I remember GUT Credit Union, now Nexa Credit Union, had developed junior cooperatives, and they were supposed to be assisting them in organizing their boards and so, but I don't know if that has continued. But I know the GUT Credit Union had that kind of thing in place, because I remember going to something in the, I think it was in the annex in the trade center where they were dealing with junior cooperatives. So that is the whole essence. We're trying now, because in the future, I think one of the things we want to do is go out to the schools and speak to them about cooperatives and teach them about cooperatives, tell them how a cooperative is run. And we have done that in the past, because we have gone with Mr. Brian Grant. We have gone to the school in Montu,
yes,
Grenada.
I know of the school you speak of, but the name eludes me too.
Montessori school.
Yes.
Right, we went there. We went to, they would have gone to a school somewhere in Paraclete. They have gone to a number of schools and done different talk. And then I remember when we had a marketing committee, subcommittee in the league, we would have gone to Mother Rose and gone a number of schools and spoken to them on cooperative and so, and give them little tokens like pencils, rulers and so. So we've been trying to educate the children, and parents who are credit union persons, they normally try to educate the person. But one of the things the savings union, I think the main thing they teach them is thrift, how to save. And a lot of the credit unions have smart savers. Grenville Credit Union has I don't want to say the wrong thing now. Youth Star and Foundation. So all these are little things that teach children. But in terms of the little mini boards and so, I'm not too sure.
Okay, great. Well, for listeners and viewers over there's an option for you to, there's a giveaway for today's program. And the question is, what is the name of the cooperative that provide the janitorial services in the ministerial complex? If you do have the answer to that, you can certainly give us a call, 435-2041, 435-2041. The question once again, what is the name of the cooperative that provides janitorial service to the ministerial complex? If you do have the answer, please give us a call and see if you could be a winner on today's program. And Ms. Emmons and Ms. Alexis on today's program. Any summary of information you want before we move on? As we await the call, anything further you want to mention?
Well, one of the things I want members to understand, whether you belong to a credit union, whether you belong to a non-financial cooperative, it is important to be a part of your organization. Take an active role in your annual general meetings. During the period of January to June, this is the period when annual general meetings take place. Take an active role, attend them, ask questions, find out what is going on, be a part. If there are membership meetings, go to them, learn what. Don't always run to your credit union only when you hear misappropriation. That's one of the times you get one of the largest crowds. Say something going wrong in the credit union and they think monies are being misappropriated, they will run because they realize their money is at stake. But we need to take more interest, and one of the things we want to encourage people to be is part of managing the credit union. So take an interest in training sessions, be part of the board, be part of those committees, because they really teach you a lot about managing your institution.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Emmons, you want to?
Yes. So, well, I would like to say that I will encourage anyone, out there, if you're thinking about forming a cooperative, to seriously consider it, and you can reach out to us at the Department of Cooperatives, right? If you have a business idea and you think the cooperative is the right way to go, and our contact is 435-8779, and we are at the 3rd floor at the ministerial complex, and we're there to help to guide you along the way.
All right.
Yes.
We may have to follow up the question to next week's program. Seems folks are probably a little more difficult than we thought it would be. The question was, again, everybody listening can probably, we still have a few minutes before we wrap. What is the name of the cooperative that provides janitorial service to the ministerial complex? If you do know that, you could always calling, and we have something to give away for if you are able to answer that question. If not, we will probably forward it to next week. All right. I want to thank you both once again for being on the program this morning. It was a pleasure having you, and always appreciate the information that you share. And I sure the viewing and listening public also accepts the information that is provided. Thanks once again.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's program here on Cooperative Spotlight. And we're about to wrap up, and I'm seeing someone is calling, so maybe I should probably try to entertain a call. Probably we have a winner. Let's see if we have a winner this morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Do you have an answer for us?
St. George's Northeast Women Cooperative, sorry.
And I think you are incorrect. That's not what the answer that we're looking for.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, well, we thought we was going to have a winner there, but it's not there. So we may have to follow through for next week. If someone calls really quick, we probably could give them, but that's not the answer we're looking for. So I think we have to wrap. So next week we'll probably throw the question out again, and hopefully we get a winner then. All right. So once again, thank you both. Hey folks, that's how we take a wrap for the Mid-Morning Buzz here on GBN TV and Classic Radio. Join us again for another edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz.